there, Gray Family here from Blues Guitar Unleashed. Welcome. Thanks for joining me today. In this video, we are going to start a new series with some classic rock licks, and these are going to be by the box. So I'm going to have a lick for you today in box 1, followed by tomorrow we'll do a lick in box 2, box 3, box 4, box 5, and then I'll show you how to put them together into a solo at the end. And this is all in celebration of a new course I have called 50 Classic Rock Licks by the Box. But one thing that I do want to point out is that these licks I'm going to show you in these videos are not actually in the course. These are a bonus lick, if you want to call them that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to break down the lick for you today in box 1. I've got a jam track for you. We're going to kind of go through the whole thing. I'll count it out. I'll show you how to play it. We'll do a little trading back and forth, the whole 9 yards. Let's jump into it. Now, in the event you don't know box 1, it's pretty straightforward. Most people do, but let's just make sure we're all on the same page. In the key of A minor, which is what we're going to be working in, we're going to start on the 5th fret, A on the 6th string, 5th fret, 8th fret, 5th, 7th, 5th, 7th, 5th, 7th, 5th, 8th, 5th, 8th. If we want to add the blue note, turn it into the minor blues scale, which is functionally equivalent. There's no time where you can use one but not the other. So 5, 8 is the same. 5, 6, 7. We get that E flat in there. 5, 7, 5, 7, 8. There's the E flat again, the flatted 5. 5, 8, 5, 8. And like I said, that is the minor blues, I'll call it variant. Again, the minor pentatonic, minor blues, they're effectively the exact same scale. I do think it's important to keep them separate, but it's very, very rare that you might want to use a pentatonic scale and not use the blues variant or not have it available to you. They pretty much are what I call functionally equivalent. If there's any time you can use one, you can use the other, certainly when we're playing rock music. All right, so let's jump into today's lick. Now, we're going to start with what I like to call the big bend. And I love licks that start with a nice big bend. It's a hallmark. You know, guys like David Gilmour, Angus Young. I mean, there's so many. Joe Perry. There's so many great licks that start with this nice big bend. So we're going to bend the 8th fret on the 2nd string. And I'm going to hold it for just over 2 full beats. Now, I do have to break this down as far as counting goes. I'm going to count 1 E and 2 E, and I'm going to break it down into 16th notes because I do have 16th notes. That's because my jam track in this example is not super fast. It's only 68 beats a minute. It's actually fairly slow. There's not going to be any trouble playing 16th notes at that tempo, more than likely, as long as your ear can break them down. So let's walk through it nice and slow. I'm going to bend it up and hold it. 1 E and 2 E and 3. All right, and again, I'm going to count right along with the music when the time comes. From there, I'm just going to walk down the scale from the A, G, E. I'm going to get to the D and just do a quick bend and then return it and then down to the C. So it's going to be 3 E and 4 E and Now, if you don't know anything about 16th notes, or you don't know like how to count this, how to turn all these things into numbers, that's fine. Do what I do, say what I say. I'm going to leave a downloadable version of this tab near this video. Download it, print it out, write the numbers down if you have to. It doesn't matter. Counting, though, is extremely important and will make all the difference in your soloing, and you'll see that when we get to the trading portion coming up. Okay, so do what I do, say what I say. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and Then I'm going to continue on and bend that D up again. 1 E, and I'm going to grab the G with my pinky on and then on I'm going to bend one more time very quickly. 1 E and 2 is a rest. Very important to be silent on that rest. That's what makes this lick sound cool. And then on E and so that rest is on beat 2, and I have a D and a C and a D, 7, 5, 7 on the 3rd string. Now I have it written that that last note is held for an additional beat. Hold it as long or as little as makes sense. When you have something else to play next, that will tend to decide for you how long you're gonna hold that. So let's go super slow. Ready? 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4. Now, I'm doing that bend. You can do it with your pinky, you can do it with your third finger, however works for you. Notice that I'm muting using my right hand. I'm also letting my first finger on my left hand kind of drag behind. It's holding that third string for me. So I'm still using 2 fingers to do the bend, but my first finger is just relaxing, so that when I come down, it's just helping to mute things out. If I use my pinky, same thing. Notice my first finger kind of hangs around a little bit. If I take away my right hand, when I get done, you can hear there's things ringing out. So that's why my right hand sits on the strings. One more time. 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and Now, one last thing is that my natural inclination is to add a little sugar to that note when I bend it up. If you can push that note up and you can hold it, and you can get it right on pitch and hold it there comfortably, at that point, if your ear says, hey, let's hear some vibrato, start to relax a little bit. Okay, but not until then. That note has to be easy before adding the vibrato is going to happen. If it's not easy, just concentrate on getting it there and holding it there comfortably. When that's easy, adding the vibrato isn't going to be that tough. And remember that vibrato on a bent note, we relax and come back just a hair. We never go up, over. It gets real kind of seasick quickly, and we don't want that, okay? So, the first step is to count this out and play it very slowly. I did it very slowly. You may have to do even slower still. You might want to stop right now, pause this video, try this through a few times. That's no problem. The next thing that you want to be able to do is you want to be able to do what I call trading, which is where I play the lick over the jam track, then you play the lick over the jam track. That's not really going to work out with only one lick. It works a lot better when we have 3 or 4 licks. But I'm going to go ahead and turn the jam track on, and I'm going to play it along with the jam track. You can play it along with me, or you can play it in the space. I would suggest that you do both, and there's 2 reasons for that. One, play it along with me, make sure you're doing it correctly. It should sound just like mine. When you do it in the space between, you are making sure that you are starting it on the right beat and you have all the counting correct and you have all the rhythm correct. It should sound exactly the same. Let's try it together. 1, 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and. Now your turn. 1, 2, 3. Now I'll do it again. 1, 2, 3, and a 4, and a 1. 1. Your turn again. Let's do it one more time. So my guess is that the first few times you try that, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge, but as you kind of get it under your fingers, start to get the hang of it, that should get better. Trading is a really, really important concept because it's really important for improvising and soloing that your ear-hand connection is good. And most people, they sort of never work on getting music out. They only work on getting music in. And so then when it comes time to improvise, nothing comes out, or at least things don't come out in the way that they intended to come out. So it's very important that you be able to, maintain knowing where you are. Like, what beat are you on right now? Is it time to start? Is it time for the next note? Keeping all of that together can be a bit of a challenge. So this is a nice slow jam track. Now I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna have the tab downloadable. You just be able to click on the PDF. I'm also gonna leave this jam track right here available for you so that you can try this for yourself. But remember that it's at 68 beats a minute. Now you should get to the point where you can kind of count 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a. You should be able to count through the lick and play it without the jam track at a pretty good pace. Then turn on the jam track. But don't stop counting once the jam track starts. Okay, you have to keep that counting going. You have to know where you're at in your own mind, okay, and know where you're at in time. So that's going to wrap us up for today's lick. Again, I'll leave tab, I'll leave jam track nearby. I will also leave a link to my new 50 Classic Rock Licks by the Box. Remember, this is not one of the licks that's in that course, but this is exactly the same style, same vibe, same process, same everything else. I just thought it would be fun to kind of have a bonus lick this week for every box. So look out tomorrow for a lick from box 2, and I will see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.